Let's talk about anger. Anger is an emotion characterized by antagonism towards someone or something you feel has deliberately done you wrong. Anger can be a good thing. It can give you a way to express negative feelings, for example, or motivate you to find solutions to problems. But excessive anger can cause problems. Many of us assume that what's in our past is past. But for decades now, clinical research has made painfully obvious that what we haven't successfully dealt with, not so much in reality as inside our heads, can continue indefinitely to influence our behavior. And much too often in negative, self defeating ways. So, say you grew up in an emotionally repressed household. You probably would have learned very early that any expression of anger was frowned upon, if not outrightly punished. You may become aware that when you've experienced various sorts of obstacles and frustrations, it just wasn't safe to give vent to your annoyance. Still, it's crucial to understand that holding in anger doesn't simply imply that it goes away or it evaporates over time. Unleashed emotions stay inside, slumbering as it will, and given time, it erupts. The unconscious part of our brain reawakens anything in our lives that reminds us of our younger self, of specific incidents or time periods when we felt required to contain that emotion inside. But when we're older and feeling safer about letting out this anger, there will be tremendous internal pressure to do so. And what this means is that whatever anger you now repress will be exaggerated to the extent that, added to our present day irritation, those old anger will be bubbling up to the surface. Earlier, our anger was less compelling than, say, was our anxiety, so it was pushed beneath and not a dominant emotion. If, however, we are now feeling relatively secure in our relationship with those currently frustrating us, that earlier anxiety is far less likely to constrain us from letting our anger barge forth. So until we find an appropriate way to discharge once and for all that suppressed or even repressed anger from the past, it can break out like a ferocious animal, set free to attack anything felt menacing to it. And that's why, even though others might find our expression of anger excessive or abusive, it will yet be exactly proportionate to what's now provoking us, plus whatever similarly provoked us in the past, but which back then we dared not allow to repress. Now, the research has shown that individuals with anger problems, tend to be more sick. 91% of individuals who respond negatively to situations are more likely to suffer from heart attack and high blood pressure. So how then can we deal effectively with anger? First, let's control our breathing. When angry, instead of screaming and throwing things, let's take a deep breath. Spend 2 to 3 minutes breathing deeply through the nose and out through the mouth. 2, let's relax those muscles, unclench our fists. Make a conscious effort to loosen the shoulders. It would help. 3, get it out. Once we relax, let's breathe easy. However, if it's road rage, we need to pull over, breathe, and relax. And when we get a chance, what we can do is to journal, write down the source of the anger. Was it my spouse? Was it my children? Was it my boyfriend? Was it my girlfriend? A colleague? The dog? Journal. Then see it in context. Think rationally rather than emotionally. By examining our anger in context, we displace ourselves from it and will be able to process our anger and not allow it to take over our lives. Most of all, we all get angry at times. The Bible says to us in Ephesians 26, be angry and sin not. Jesus is the Prince of Peace. He can give us peace in exchange of that anger that we feel ever so often. We just need to persevere in prayer and follow the steps given so that our anger, whether tied to our past or is it sporadic, would not ruin our lives, neither our relationships. Let's talk to Jesus. He's more than able to help us with our anger issues.